Greetings everyone, this is Stirred It Up with Chef Beee Live. We're here with Abba Bailey of Quiet Blessings Yoga, and we are talking body and spiritual wellness today as part of our Activate Your Wellness in the New Year plan. Welcome, Abba.
Well, thank you for inviting me to share my cooking skills with you.
Absolutely. So Abba is super special to me. Abba is one of the founding members of Black Vegetarian Society of Georgia. That's one. She and I are star twin sisters. Yes. We share the same birthday. And actually the cooking show started with Abba. So I was here almost 2 years ago.
Right.
And I said to Abba, I said, wow, I really want to do a cooking show. And I was like, all right, well, let's do something.
Yeah.
And we actually prepared something wonderful together.
Yeah,
and
it was a Thai soup.
It was a Thai soup, yes, with some lemongrass essential oil, right?
Yes.
So Abba and I talk about wellness all the time. We talk about meditation and yoga and just eating well and eating clean all the time.
Not only talk about it, but we live it.
We live it, absolutely. We live it. And we wanted to share with you all today some of our protocols that we do every day just so that we can stay strong, we can stay grounded spiritually, and we can keep our bodies nice and flexible.
This is true healthcare. The way people take care of themselves in this country is more sick care.
Absolutely.
You know, relying on your insurance and all of that. But
Yep.
You are your own best insurance.
Yeah, so you just got to figure out what you're going to commit to and then commit to it. So today our offerings, we're going to do a variety of things, but I want you to just quickly tell them the name of, and we'll get into it later, what we're going to prepare. What is the name of the dish?
This is Khichari. It's a Indian dish. It's based on Ayurvedic principles, and Ayurvedic means great life. So when you eat according to these principles, it gives you a great life. And this is actually a great day to prepare this meal because it's so cold outside.
It's cold outside.
And this is a great dish to eat when it's cold. But more importantly, it's satisfying and it's nourishing to you. At the same time, it helps your body to detox. It gives your digestive system a rest. So it fills you up and it nourishes you without overtaxing your digestive system. And the spices that we'll be using in this dish are very grounding and very good for the digestion.
Very, very good. So we're going to do some khichari for you guys, show you how quick and easy it is to prepare that. Then we're also going to show you a very quick flow. And this is, we're going to talk about the 5 Tibetan Rites. I didn't mention Abba's also trained in so many different styles of yoga, over maybe 1,000 hours of yoga. So she's a master. She knows what she's doing. So we're going to show you a very simple flow that you can incorporate into your routine every day, probably 15-20 minutes.
Right, at the most. Just to keep you strong, keep you grounded. I mean, it's amazing. And then I'm going to also show you guys some beverages that I prepare in the morning, every morning. Actually, both Abba and I make these every day to stay hydrated, to keep inflammation down, and just to keep our body strong. Good
for the gut.
Yeah, good for your gut. Right.
All right, so we're going to actually start with the khichari, because we're going to set that up and then we'll show you the flow.
So the ingredients that we're using in this, we're going to use the yellow split mung bean.
So we can show them that.
And this is actually white basmati rice. So you can also feel free to use brown basmati rice if you don't want to use the white. But I'm doing the white because that's the way it's prepared traditionally. And the white basmati rice is very easy to digest. Not to mention also that I soaked the split mung beans and the rice overnight, which actually helps to kind of, break it down and make it easier to digest. And then I have a variety of organic veggies.
Look how beautiful this is.
Zucchini, and I have the rainbow carrots. And fresh celery. And we'll cook that with our spices. I have ginger and a little bit of jalapeno.
It's gonna have a kick.
Bay leaves, and of course turmeric. I'm cooking it in coconut oil. the traditional Ayurvedic recipe calls for ghee, but we're not doing any dairy, so
Right.
I always substitute coconut oil.
Yep.
And then we'll garnish it with limes, cilantro. We have some sprouts
Yes.
with something raw. for
Yeah,
you
something
folks
good.
who like
And then
it.
this is also good, enzymatic.
Right.
It's really high in enzymes. Super good for you.
Right. So we'll get started now. And the reason I wanted to do this dish because we're gonna do it in this Instant Pot, and this
Let me
is
show you. Yes.
yeah. So me being the foodie that I am, I'm really into like gadgets and appliances and things like this. Well, this is what's happening in the Instant Pot because it's a pressure cooker, so it cooks everything really fast. And what I like about it, after it's done, it will keep it warm for up to 10 hours.
Yes.
So if you a person who have to, work a lot and don't have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen, this is ideal
really
for you.
good one.
Because the thing about it is that it will cut your cooking time. But the best thing about it is once you put it in here, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to stir it. You don't have to check on it. So you can get this going while you go
do your thing.
Get other things accomplished. All right. So we'll go ahead.
All right.
And,
So
we'll
and
get
I
started.
don't have an Instapot. I have my pressure cooker.
Right,
I'm
the
old school.
Right.
And it works just as wonderful.
Right.
You do have to monitor it, but for those of you who have a pressure cooker, you can do this
You can do
dish
this dish
in a pressure cooker as well. Yep.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and take the lid off.
Put that here.
And it's nice because the insert is pure stainless steel, so you don't have to worry about any toxins coming from the cookware, which is important. And I'm going to set this on saute. Here we go.
Yep.
Then we'll add, this is 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. I've already got everything measured out.
Yep. And for those of you who, you can't use coconut oil, you can also use an oil that works for you. So something simple like a grapeseed oil.
Yeah, grapeseed oil.
That's a really nice one, or avocado oil. Something
so
like
I like
that.
oil, but just don't use.
Not a lot.
Don't use the one that starts with C. Am I allowed to say?
Canola. Because we're not naming any brands, but we do not want to. We want to stay away from corn oil. It's really not good for you.
Corn oil, canola oil,
yes,
soy oil. So oils are really an important thing that you should be paying attention to. What type of oils you're putting in your body.
Yes.
So we've got this. This is gonna melt, and then I will be adding the ground turmeric. So here's the turmeric.
We got our turmeric.
We got our turmeric.
We know that turmeric is super good as an anti-inflammatory tool. You can use this daily. You can add this to your teas. You can add this to your smoothies. And then also when you're using turmeric, you also want to make sure that you use some kind of pepper. All right?
So the pepper is in the grounding.
Yeah, so we have that already grounded up in the seasoning that we're using.
So I've got the ginger. What I did with the ginger, it said grated, but I like to cut my ginger into little pieces because it is so wonderful.
When you bite into it, right?
Right, and it just kind of like explodes in your mouth.
Yes.
So have the ginger, and I said a little jalapeno, some bay leaves.
Yeah.
Now this grounding spice that I have, I blended this myself.
Yes.
And I want you all to know that it's so easy to make your own spice mixes. And then it just has way more flavor than when you buy store-bought.
Yes.
And it's awesome. I don't like nothing that's pre-prepared because you don't know what you're getting. You don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't. But when you make your own, you know exactly what you put in there, what you're getting. So this one is a mixture of coriander seeds.
Yep.
Those are the coriander.
Boom, boom, boom. There you go.
And then it's fennel.
And the fennel looks a little bit like cumin seeds.
And this is the cumin seeds. Yeah,
so you can see it's a little bit bigger. So this is cumin and this is fennel.
Okay. And then we also have some cloves.
And that's also high in antioxidants, so that's really nice, and it has a really nice pungent flavor.
And then the black pepper, which will help you just
yes, there goes that black pepper, so it's going to help to activate the curcumin.
Don't stick too close.
Love it.
Yes.
Very, very nice.
It's very, very nice. So this
Wish
is
we had smell-o-vision.
And then we'll also add a little salt. Now you see that this is what was called real salt. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you have a thing of regular salt, I'm not saying
Yeah.
but regular salt.
No salt, yes.
You use
pink salt, y'all. Pink salt.
Himalayan salt.
Himalayan sea salt.
Sea salt. Use a good high quality or real salt, which comes from the earth. Use a high quality salt.
Yes.
Salt, regular salt is very toxic to your body. And I know a lot of people are challenged with their blood pressure, and that will cause. I cut all salt.
Yes.
Except for this.
We don't use that kind of salt.
So-
If we use salt, we're using Himalayan salt. We just mitigated all of the different sodiums out there because you just don't know. It just really impacts the blood pressure in a negative way.
So now I'm adding the turmeric.
All right. So we build in the flavors. See that smoke?
And
All
then
right.
I'm adding the
go.
ginger and the jalapeno.
That looks so good.
And the bay leaf. And you see how fast that got hot. I was like, oh,
Yes,
I gotta talk.
very,
'cause
very.
it's
Get all
really
that
good.
ginger in there.
Yeah.
All that ginger.
Okay. And then we're going to add the rice and the lentils, which it was a cup of rice and a half a cup of, well, I said lentils, mung beans, split mung beans. So I'm going to add that.
And these are split mung beans, so the mung beans,
It makes it
the
easier
skin
to
has
digest.
been removed from
Right.
the bean.
And it's easier.
It's gonna cook fast, and it's also gonna help you to
And when
digest.
I soaked this overnight, and I use good purified water. I don't use tap water
Yes.
for cooking.
Yes, so you can use some good waters to use, or spring water, and then you can also use some alkaline water to cook as well.
Okay.
Alright, so.
And then now we're still, that's on, and it's gonna actually heat up. Actually, I'm going to add now the grounding spice, which is 2.5 teaspoons. Okay.
There you go.
So.
And y'all, the flavor that this spice blend brings to
It's
the
incredible.
khichari is incredible.
So
Very nice.
this is what's called a grounding spice blend. It is excellent for people who have like digestion problems or what we call like airy digestion, where you get a lot of gas and bloating. The airy digestion is sometimes you digest okay, sometimes you don't.
Right.
So these spices really help to balance all of that out. And then I'll
The
stir
spices
it.
were made from those ingredients?
Yes, all
So how did you make the spice? You showed us
Oh
the...
yeah, right.
So what we can show them quickly. So this is a coffee grinder, y'all. This is a coffee grinder. So coffee grinders are really awesome because they do double duty. I recommend that if you're gonna do spice blending, you wanna probably have one specifically for your spices. So what you would do is you would take maybe 1 tablespoon of each of these, and then what you would do is you would put it into the spice blender, and then you would just
It just whirs around.
that's it. Just blend it, and then you store it in a glass container. So it's just that simple. If you don't have a spice blender, you can use a food processor. However, the food processor is not gonna finely grind up the spices. So this is a really nice tool that you can get. Mr. Coffee, how much was this one?
Oh, it was a gift.
Okay, so maybe about $25,
Yeah, they're
if
not
that much.
expensive.
And then there are even smaller ones than this. So this isn't the only kind.
Right. Okay, and then I'm going to add, it said they call for 2 teaspoons of salt, but I'm only going to
We're
add
gonna use one.
I always cut the salt because if you want more salt, then, but
you
you
can just
really
add
want
in.
to like get your taste buds accustomed to not having so much salt.
Yes.
Then I'm going to also add the veggies.
Veggies.
Okay, and this is, like I said before, rainbow carrots. I love purple carrots, and one of my favorite foods. Now,
It's so pretty.
I cut things kind of big and chunky when I'm putting them in the Instant Pot because the way it cooks it so fast. If you dice it or do too small, it'll just be mush. So we don't want that. And I'm adding all the veggies.
So we got our zucchinis in, we have our celery, we have our different colored carrots, and it's also going to add some really nice flavor to this as well.
Right.
Looks
And then
really good.
I'm going to add the stock. And I use the celery top. When I make my celery juice, I use the tops from the celery to make the broth. So
it's as simple as Basically, y'all, you can get maybe 2 cups of water,
Right.
and then you take the celery tops. So here's some example of the celery tops. So you take these tops and you basically put it inside of the pot with the water, and you just let it simmer. Maybe like an hour, if that much.
Yeah, I usually just kind of bring it just to a quick boil and then just turn it back down
And then just let it
sit.
Yeah, so there's so many different ways to do vegetable stocks. You don't have to buy your own vegetable stock. And once again, we want to control the content of the salt. And a lot of broths and stocks that you find in the store, the sodium content is usually high. You really don't need a whole lot of salt. Celery is going to give your food an amazing flavor. So you really don't need all of the salt.
And it's a natural mineral salt
Exactly.
that your body loves it.
Yes.
So now giving you this instant pot
Excited.
lesson.
Look at how beautiful this is. Come on in, cameraman. Look at this. Real simple. So it's going to heat up.
Right.
It's going to do its thing.
So I'm going to leave this let it. It's going to take a minute for it to come to boil, and then I'll set the top on so that we can actually set the pressure. Okay, and it'll be on high pressure.
Yes.
And we're going to set it for 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Okay. We did a trial. We
Yeah.
did 10 minutes, and the rice was a little bit on the mushy side.
Yes.
And it's still good.
And it was
for
still good.
digestion.
It's
but I
super
know
good.
I'm going to show you some, give you a
Yes.
good presentation.
Yes.
So that's the thing about the Instant Pot. Even though we're going to cook it actually at pressure for 8 minutes, it takes a little bit of time for it to
Kind of get hot so that you can actually pressure it.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
And then once it comes to pressure, it'll do it for 8 minutes. But then you have to let it cool back down. So with your kind of pressure cooker, the steam is kind of, but you can control. So with this, you will actually control it by this valve right here. So one of them is for sealing, and then the other one, if you want to take it off before it comes back down, you do it there, and then that's when it goes. And I think that's the part that like intimidates people.
Yes.
So when you have the Instant Pot, you can just wait for it to come down naturally, and it's still actually cooking even though you set it for 8 minutes.
Yes.
So
it's still doing its
so
thing.
so one of the shortcuts is I leave it on saute so that the water can be hot. And then once the water, I've noticed that it might start kind of to boil just a little bit, then I put it on, then it doesn't take as long.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So we're just gonna let this sit for a minute.
Yeah, and it's actually getting ready to start.
Yeah, it is. You can see that it's kind of starting to bubble a little bit right there.
Yes.
Okay.
So I want you to also tell people while we're waiting, because we're gonna get into this yoga flow very soon. We want to tell you a little bit about Abba's private yoga studio, Quiet Blessings Yoga. How long have you had the studio?
I'm going on 4 years now, which is like anyway. It has evolved to I do mainly privates, but I want people. I do have a class now on Monday mornings.
Yes.
So if you want to come and join us tomorrow morning,
yes, indeed,
you can check my Facebook page, Quiet Blessings
and you
Yoga.
can inbox her.
And send me,
send her an inbox message. I want to participate because we don't release the address, since it's a private studio.
Right.
Yes, but tell them about some of the different flows that you actually support people with.
Well, I like to teach people how to do their own practice, to do their own thing, as opposed to having to rely on going to a studio all the time. So that's the main focus that I have here.
Nice.
And because I do privates, I can assess. I've been a massage therapist for over 35 years. So I can also assess exactly what your body needs, what you need to be doing. Because everybody's different. Everybody's not the same. And so I like to really give you that personal attention. But on Monday mornings, I do have a class at 8 a.m. And you're welcome to come. You have to let me know you're coming. I do it in a small space, so you don't have to worry about it being overcrowded.
That's right.
Again, because I like to give a lot of personal attention. But today we're going to do the 5 Tibetan Rites, which I love the 5 Tibetans because It's like yoga on the fast.
Yes,
That's
it
the thing
is.
that I like about it.
It's
the most.
awesome.
So by the time yoga spread into Tibet, they realized that they didn't really want to be doing a whole lot of stuff, to get ready. Because yoga actually, the physical practice is to prepare your body so that you'll be able to sit comfortably when you meditate. Because when you're sitting in your meditation.
Oh my gosh, your legs start feeling all the pins. If the circulation is off.
Right, your body, you can't get out of your head because you got it fidgeting and stuff. So that's what the yoga is for, is to prepare your body for your meditation. And in Tibet, they were like, well, we ain't got time to be doing all that because they want to get into.
They just want to get into the meditation. That's right.
So they came up with these they're called 5 rites.
Yes.
Okay, they came with these 5 rites that prepare your body for meditation.
Yes.
So the way that I was taught to do them is in multiples of 3, up to 21.
Yeah.
So, when you do them, you will see where it starts to get challenging. Because 3, is okay. But for some people, even the first one, when we spin, that one could be challenging because people get real dizzy.
Yes.
But all of it is all based on your chakras or your energy centers in your body to help open up all the energy centers in your body. But it also help you with your endocrine system, which is your glands, which is your hormones.
That's everything.
So it balances, all that.
Everything.
So as you can see now, it's come to a nice boil.
Yep, it's coming.
So
So
I'm
we're gonna cover it.
I'm gonna cover it.
Put this here.
Okay. And I think I need to step around this way, make sure I put it on right. Okay. There we go.
Bam.
Okay.
It's on.
It's on. So now you see, I'm gonna set this to sealing.
Yep.
So that the pressure
sealing,
will
I see
build
it.
up.
Yep.
Okay. And then what I do, I'll take this and I'll turn it off, and then I'm going to turn it back on to manual.
Yes.
And I want to do it for 8 minutes.
Yep.
So I just set it for 8 minutes. Okay. So like I said before, it's not going to be done in 8 minutes. It's got to build up to pressure. And then, see, now it built up really fast, so it's on.
Look at that.
And then when it actually starts being under pressure, then the time will show up. You'll see the 8, whatever, 7, 6, and then it'll count it
And
down.
then we'll see it. Yep.
And then it'll beep when it's ready. But we won't worry about it because that other feature, it will stay.
It'll stay
hot.
nice and hot. Well,
Until
when you pressure anything, it stays super hot. So
Right.
you don't even have to worry about that.
The other thing too that's really cool about using this pressure cooker is that it infuses the flavor. The
Yes,
flavors
that's
are
true.
so much more intense.
Yes,
And then
that's true.
the other thing that makes our food taste so good is the fact that we use all organic.
All
The
organic,
produce
fresh.
taste. And some people say, that's just a racket or
No,
whatever.
it makes a difference.
Well, let me tell you something.
It makes a big old difference.
It might not be organic 100%, but at least the effort is being made to not put as much crap on it.
So speaking of that, listen to this, y'all. Y'all know about this government shutdown.
Oh, yeah.
All right? And because of the government shutdown, inspections in different food plants are not happening.
Right.
In particular, if you're eating kale, if you're eating things like cucumber, a lot of leafy greens, which a lot of us eat.
Right.
It's not happening. So it is recommended that you stay away from those sorts of foods during the shutdown.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And I would also say things like this just remind us that we need to invest in a community supported agriculture
So
or
we
a
know.
CSA. Because guess what? Even if your local farmer is growing conventional, even if your local farmer is growing conventional, you talk to them, you find out, are you using sprays? You don't have to be organic all the way. The question is, are you spraying everything?
Right.
And so even if your farmer is not organic and they're growing conventional, it's all about the integrity in how they're growing. And so we really are encouraging all of you out there to invest in a local CSA. They're not as expensive as people might think. I have one with Patrick City Farms every other week, $30.
Right.
$30.
And we take our power back. food by
Exactly.
supporting these people. This
Come on.
the small farmers.
And they want to do it. They believe in the integrity in growing food, and that people should have quality produce, and they want to do it. So why not have that relationship, right? All right, so let's
and
do some
also,
yoga.
I have
Let's do some
a little garden right there in my front yard too.
Yes,
So,
the herbs and the tomatoes.
Yeah, every year I
Yes.
grow a little something, and if I could do it, I know you can do it.
Yes.
So, okay, we'll get started.
All right,
with
so
our Tibetan
the
rites.
5 Tibetan rites. All right,
Okay.
so you're gonna guide me through this, right?
Right. Okay. Well, first we're gonna do a little bit of a warm up.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
remember
That sounds
Can you
good.
take your apron off?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Take my apron off.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this is Quiet Blessing Studio. This is the studio.
The show over here. I have
Yes.
everything.
So she has
You
everything.
don't have a mat.
This is
or
it, right.
blocks or straps.
Blanket, all of the different props that you might need.
Everything.
Chair yoga.
Yes.
She got it. The different candles for the different colored chakras. They're all here.
Yes.
Essential oils being diffused. What are you diffusing today?
Purity.
Purity.
I love it. It's a cilantro based
Yes.
oil, which is cilantro is really good for detoxing the body.
Yes,
but
indeed.
Also detoxing your space.
Yes.
So I'm gonna sit comfortable.
Okay.
And did you what do you use
I use in regards to what?
to our sitting?
Actually, I started using the block, and I actually like using the block when I
All
sit.
right. So I'm gonna sit. This is a posture called Virasana, and you want to have your sitting bones supported, so your knees will be together, insides of the thighs will be parallel to one another, and then if this isn't comfortable for you to sit like this, then you can, elevate, you can stack 2 blocks, you can turn 1 block up and sit a little bit higher. You can also place a blanket under your ankles if it hurts your ankles to come back. But this is very healing to your knees to sit in this position. If this is still uncomfortable, then you can just also sit cross-legged. So you just want to start by grounding yourself. You close your eyes, turn your palms up on your thighs, and just check in with yourself and start to notice your breathing. And whatever has transpired before you come to your mat, you want to just let that go. So let go of any worries and concerns for the day. One of the benefits of yoga is that it's going to bring you into the present moment. And this is where our life is happening. So we have to learn how to train ourselves to stay in the present moment. We're letting go of our worries of the past, fears of the future. Just bring your attention into now. And this is, like I said, this is where you live in this moment right now. So you begin to breathe in and out through your nose, letting your inhales and your exhales last the same amount of time. And as you're doing this, you'll just notice, is it easier for me to inhale? Or is it easier for me to exhale?
I like exhaling.
So you just kind of begins to help you understand how you're moving through your life. Because the breath is your life, right? So you go to the breath. You can't live without the breath. We can live without water for maybe a few days. We could live without food indefinitely, but we cannot go a long time without our breath. So the breath is essential. The breath is also the way that you connect to your nervous system. So when you're agitated, when you slow the breath down, it helps to calm the nervous system. And if you're lethargic and you want to pump yourself up, then you focus on your inhale breath. So you can manipulate and control exactly how you feel by your breathing. But this particular breath is what's called the parallel breath, where the inhale and the exhale last the same amount of time. so it can help balance out both sides of your brain and so that you won't be too lethargic or too hyper. The goal of yoga also is to bring balance, and we want to work on being more balanced as opposed to extreme flexibility or whatever. So again, coming back to the breath, when you focus on your breathing, it helps you bring you into the present moment, and it's very quieting to your mind. So now that she's focused, gone.
I feel good. Yes.
Yeah, with all the excitement, getting ready to do this and everything. So it's nice to take a calm moment. So we'll just do this as our warm up before we get started. We'll stretch the arms up, interlace the fingers, and press the palms up towards the ceiling. You're dropping your chin to your chest and moving your shoulder blades down your back.
Now, didn't you say that when you move your chin in this position, it helps with the throat chakra?
It's a lot. It's the Jalandhara Bandha. So it actually seals the energy. Okay? So your throat chakra. So as you're pressing down, you're lifting up. But more importantly, by bringing the chin to the chest, you're releasing the back of the neck. So you can feel the top behind your shoulders also lengthening, stretching. And then spread your shoulder blades here. Then on your next exhale, you'll bend your elbows, switch your interlace, and stretch the arms back up. Again, drop your chin to your chest. You want to lift the pit of your belly, so just under your belly button, pull that in and up. That helps you lengthen out of your lower back. The sides of your waist are getting longer here. Press your sitting bones down when you exhale. This is grounding. And as you inhale, lengthen up. Feel your spine lengthening here. And then bend your elbows and stretch your arms out. And I'm going to bring them down.
You know, it's amazing. Like when you're doing yoga, there's all of these different awarenesses that you start to have the more you practice.
Right.
And so the first few sessions, you're trying to feel yourself out.
Right.
But then as because actually doing that this time, I'm like, oh, I feel my sides lengthening. I feel.
So that's the belly. This is my belly button. So when I go under, I want to pull this in. I'm not pulling in my belly. I'm pulling in just under, and I'm lifting it up. And this is the pit of the abdomen. And this helps to strengthen your core, but it also protects your lower back when you're doing yoga. And it also helps to lengthen. We get so compressed. This area gets compressed, and we want to really open that up. And remember now, this is something that you can do first thing in the morning. You do this easily at home on your own. And then I also recommend you do these arm stretches, Garudasana, which is eagle arms. We're just doing the arms, we're not doing the legs.
Right.
So you'll bring your arms into a goal pose. You'll cross the right elbow over the left, and then wrap your forearms together and bring the hands together. Palms will face each other. Lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. And you're taking your right thumb and placing it on your forehead. Spread your shoulder blades wide here and lift your chest. And then you can breathe in between. I'll just watch you. You want to breathe in between your shoulder blades as well. Yes. So for those of you where the arms don't wrap, you can also hold your shoulders like this.
Give yourself a hug.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing.
And also another modification, you can just bring the elbows together and the palms. And then you still want to lift and spread the shoulder blades. So there's always modifications for everything.
No matter what level you're at, right?
And the beauty of it is that wherever you're at is where you get the benefit. So you don't just get the benefit because you can do this. If this is what you can do, then this is where you get the benefit, okay? So don't not do it because you can't do it. You just make the modification. So
I'm doing my other side. I'm doing my other side.
So now we do the left. So and also remember you want to lift the pit of your belly.
So out.
So you're going to come across the left and the right with the elbows.
And then bring down.
Right. And then, actually, I said on the other side, the right thumb, it's the right thumb touches the forehead on this side. So the thing with the thumb is touching the forehead. That's very quieting to your mind when you touch on your forehead. And then focus on your breathing. You don't want to be all, oh, I don't like this, and get out of your head.
Get into your breath.
Right.
The breath is the bomb.
Between your shoulder blades. So I tell you what, I've been really having a challenge with my shoulder, and I've just been doing these like
And then
every day.
has it helped?
And it is really helping.
Wow.
It is really helping.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So we ready?
So we'll straighten the legs out now.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So if you feel real tight, you can always just release the backs of the knees. Ooh. And then we'll bring the legs out in front. Now I love to do these because I get to work my leg muscles.
Yes.
All right. So here the hands will come by the hips, and you again lift your sternum, lift the pit of your belly, and when you exhale, flex your feet and squeeze the quadriceps muscles. So as I'm flexing my feet, I'm bringing my toes towards me, but push the ball of the foot away and push the heel away. And I keep squeezing while I'm exhaling. And then when you inhale, you can soften your knees, you relax, and then you exhale and you flex and squeeze again. And it's important to do the action on the exhale that protects your blood pressure.
Nice.
So you don't want to do the action, the physical force on the inhale.
Got it.
Okay, and then one more time. Inhale, relax. And then one more time. And now you'll notice too, I spread my toes. So you want to spread your toes. That helps to keep your toes flexible. And a lot of times, as we get older, elderly people fall. They don't have no flexibility in their toes.
That's why.
So you want to, then the sense of balance is off too. But you start by your feet, right? You want to build up from low of your feet and up.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can start to smell the Khichari now, right? So it's counting down. You want to show them the countdown?
So it's like 5 minutes left.
5 minutes left. Okay. And then now let's do Baddha Konasana.
Yeah.
Soles of the feet will come together. And then you can interlace under the soles of the feet.
I love this stretch because it opens up the groin area so much.
And then you press the soles of the feet together as you lift the chest. And then release. So because again, I have that tightness on this side, I like to bring my hands behind me. And then I press, and that helps. Again, we're looking for balance in the body. So when you understand where you're maybe more challenged on one side than the other, you want to focus on the challenge side so that it will open up. I'm so open on the left. I can push my left knee pretty much close to the floor, but I don't because I have to focus on
that right.
But I say that mine got tight. My right hip is tight. From driving in Atlanta traffic for 30 years, driving to Buckhead and sitting in that traffic, and I never could figure out why my right side was always so tight. And then I started realizing when I would get out the car after driving for an hour, hour and a half in Atlanta traffic, I could sometimes barely step down. And I'm like, you would think that
And I feel it, like if I'm in traffic coming from Gwinnett for like an hour, very tight when I
so it just kind of that's life wear and tear. But at least I know. See, so now you can see that both of my knees are more even because I'm focused on that right hip, releasing it. So I'm glad that I'm doing that. So it won't, and this is a good way to keep you from having to get the hip replacement. Because you want to really keep that. You want to keep the femur socket, where it sits in, the femur sits into the hip socket. You want to keep that area nice and open. People get hip replacement because it starts to wear from where it's tight. Okay, then you use your hands to close it together and stretch your legs back out. And then we'll do 3 more squeezes. And then we'll do the together. Okay. So
This is still the warm up.
This is the warm up. This is the warm up, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll say you want to get comfortable with visiting the mat.
Right.
So this is a safe space. You can pull this out. You can do some deep breaths on your mat.
Right.
And you'll never be disappointed. Someone once said you'll never be disappointed.
No one ever said
when you're on the mat.
No one ever said I regretted going to yoga.
No one ever says it. So you just
Right.
want to just get comfortable with visiting the mat. You don't have to just do one or two things and then you're done. Stay a while.
Okay. So then now we'll do the 5 Tibetans.
All right.
And so you know she's familiar with them. So we'll just go ahead and jump in. And we said we want to do what?
So we're gonna do. Let's do 9 real
Okay,
fast.
I'm
So
gonna do 9
just so you know, this first. It's a certain order that you're going to do the 5 Tibetan rites. This first action, this asana, is called spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And so actually when we did this a week ago, I've been doing them every day, and you get less dizzy.
Yes.
So I've been able to control the dizziness from the first time I actually did it to now.
Okay.
So that's really powerful for me.
All right.
All right, so the way it works.
We're going to bring the hands out.
Yep.
Now, the key is to don't go so fast. You know, you got to judge how fast you're going to go. And you're only going to look at your right hand. So don't let your eyes wander. That will make you get dizzy. All right?
All right. We're going to go 9 times.
And we'll go at our own pace.
Yes.
And then when you finish, you just come back
Yep.
and then, you know, look at your thumbs.
Yep, sounds
okay.
good.
So let's begin. And I'll just count quietly. This is 1,
2,
2,
3,
4. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm at 9. Okay, then you look at your thumbs. And that keeps you from being dizzy. It keeps you from focusing on the room spinning. And this one is good for your balance, and it's also good for your hormones. Okay? Next.
Whew.
Okay, so we'll move down. We're laying on
The J. So the second asana, or the second of the 5 Tibetan rites, is called J. So once again, we're really going to work on our throat chakra, and we're going to make our body form a J.
Okay, and yeah, it's like leg lifts. So your palms are down by your side, and you do the inhale, your lift. Lift everything. Lift your chin to your chest, and then you exhale. Come down.
Notice that we're
Mhm.
tucking in our chin when we come up.
That's 2. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. That's 3. Exhaling down. 4. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. 5. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. 6. Again, inhaling up. And exhaling down. 7. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. 8. Down.
One more.
And 9. And then you just kind of lay, relax. You can start to feel, you know, circulation in your body. And also, I did hear the beeper go off, so
we're good.
the Khichari is done, but we got to let it come back down, you
Yeah.
know, from pressure. So roll over onto your right side, place your left hand, and come sitting up. So that's the beauty of it. It's done now, but we don't have to run over.
Right,
We
we're
didn't
good.
have to check in
Yeah.
or nothing like that. Okay.
All right, so the third of the 5 is called camel
Camel or Ustrasana.
or strasana. So we can start here, or you can actually, if you're more advanced, you can actually have your
Yeah, you
hands
can
down
keep your
here.
hands here, and you
You
can
can
also
do
let
this.
them slide. But you want to curl and tuck your toes under, and you'll be pushing into the big toe ball of your foot. And again, that same action.
Yes.
You know, the thyroid gland, the chin is coming in, head is going back. So when you go back, the head goes back.
Yep.
You just bring it back as far. You don't have to force anything. And then when you come back, you bring the chin. Okay, so
Yep,
you're ready?
ready?
And let's begin. Inhale. And exhale. 1, 2. And each time I'm pressing into my big toe ball as I'm coming back. That's 3, 4, behind back. That's 5, 6. The last 3 I'm gonna challenge myself and let my hands slide. 7, 8, and 9. Now sit down. I really like that because that's where I'm kind of stiff.
Yes.
It gets into all of that.
Woo, I love doing those. The next one's more, it's like more challenging for me.
And then also, you know, when you're going back.
Yes, I love that.
Lift and think
It's
about
open.
lifting your chest too. It's a good chest movement.
Okay.
Okay, Tia, so now we get a little
So
bit
we're almost
more
done, y'all. We got 2 more.
Okay, so you bring your feet out and your hands are by your hips. It's important on this one.
Not to slide.
Don't slide your feet. Keep your feet stationary. And again, when we lift, we inhale, and you just bring your head back as far as you can. So if you can only keep it parallel to the floor, that's fine. Or you can let it fall back. And then as you're coming back, you exhale and bring your chin to your chest. So get that movement in your chin and chest.
So this is called table. All right, ready?
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. I like to do these fast. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
I feel a little sweat.
Yeah, it really increases the heat in the body.
Oh, I love
It's
it.
very invigorating.
Oh my
I
gosh.
like to do those fast.
I love it, yes. That actually makes a difference in going slow.
I think slow is probably harder. That's why I like to
Yes.
That's why I like to go fast and go through those.
All right, the last one. This is last one, best one. It's called 2 dogs. We're going to do, it's going to look like this. Kind of like a chaturanga. Kind of like it, but not quite.
It's upward facing dog. Okay, not chaturanga. Chaturanga is when you
Yeah, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I was thinking about this one.
Yeah, upward. Well, it's not cobra.
Not cobra, thank you.
Because your thighs are up off the floor, okay? So you start from a plank position,
Mm-hmm.
and you can engage your core if you like. You take an inhale, and then on the exhale, you lift your chest, bring it through, and keep your thighs off the floor. And then when you inhale, come into downward facing dog. That's 1, 2, you exhale, and inhale. So it's the opposite way you usually breathe in those.
Yeah.
And then 3, you exhale, and inhale. And 4, up dog, down dog. Exhale, 5, and 6. This is the exhale. And this is the inhale. 7, 8, and 9. And then again, come back down, sit comfortable. Close your eyes. And you feel so good.
I feel so good.
And you know, the thing about it is...
Sweating too. Why are you sweating so much?
The thing about it is when you do these, I usually start feeling challenged about 15. And when I can work myself up to 21, it's a sense of accomplishment.
It's really nice.
It's
yeah.
it really is. It really is.
And ideally, y'all looking out there, this is a really simple, beautiful practice. Ideally, you could increase by increment like an odd number. So if you start at 3,
You go 3, 6, 9,
3,
12,
6, 9, 12,
15,
all the way
21.
till you get to 21.
Yeah, that was the way that I
Yeah.
was taught. You know, I mean, everything always have its own
Yes.
variations and stuff. But I'm just saying the way.
No, that's fine. And you can do this every day. Like you roll out the bed, you do your meditation, you do some breath work, and then you can do this fast track
Right.
or yoga on the go.
And then you are ready to meditate.
You're ready.
You know, you're ready.
Yeah.
You calm. You got and you moved your body.
Yes. And your body wants to be quiet, right? After you do
So,
that.
yeah, I love the 5 Tibetans. I will do them for the rest of my life.
Yes, I love it. Thank you for introducing
Alright.
that to me. So you want to? Let's do it.
Okay, so we probably need a few more minutes for it to come down.
So actually, what we could do is tell them a little bit about the waters and the celery juices.
Okay, cool. Okay.
All right, so that was awesome. So once
Yeah,
again,
we're all
quiet
fired up.
blessings, yoga,
Right.
right?
I won't worry about that.
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
All right, because we about to eat
So
real soon.
let me just show them this. So if I was wanting to open this up now, see how that's coming out. So I'm just gonna let it come down naturally.
Naturally, yep.
Okay.
That sounds
Because that's
good.
called quick release,
Got it.
but we're gonna do natural release.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
So the other thing that we wanted to share with you is our liquid or our beverage protocol that we do every morning.
It's kind of
So-
like our form of intermittent fasting.
Yes, so for those of you who have never heard of intermittent fasting, this is an opportunity for you to actually strengthen your immune system and then of course give your digestion a break. So I know that you start maybe a little after 12, but I don't start eating until after 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And then my feeding window is between, let's say, 11 and maybe 7, 8 o'clock. All right? And so prior to that time, what I'm doing is I'm hydrating.
Right.
And so upon waking up, what I'll drink is something like this. So this is alkaline water. And I've added in here some limes, right? This is lime juice, squeeze the lime, so limes. And then I also add in here, where is it? We have some lime essential oil, all right?
And the thing about adding the lime or the lemon to your water, no matter what kind of water you're doing,
It purifies
it not only does it purify it, it bring it back to life. Because most water is dead unless you actually have those a well, you know.
Yes, that's
a
true.
running
Or spring, exactly.
That's pure spring water that you're getting yourself.
Yes.
Well, that's live water.
Yes,
So
that's
you
true.
want to add lemon, lime, or
Yes.
both to your water.
Yes,
It,
too.
it actually, it's like it went to sleep. It's like dead water. And when you put that in there, it goes and it wakes it back up.
And it's just gonna help to flush the system out, get
Right.
things moving in your body. I even add 1 drop of this.
Okay.
Gives us
Yeah,
a really beautiful
nice
flavor. So really nice. So I'll drink this.
And also,
Yes, go ahead.
because your liver
Let's talk about that liver.
is like detoxing in the morning. That's when
Yes.
it's in detox mode. And so when you give it extra water and you help to flush, that helps your liver to flush out the toxins as opposed to
Eating. Right.
especially a fatty meal.
Yes.
Like a lot of people start the day with fats first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, that stops your liver
Yeah.
from doing that flushing process. It has to switch over to digesting the fat, to be telling your body to secrete the bile so you can break down the fat. So you want to skip that fats first thing in the morning.
And you feel so much better. You feel lighter. You feel leaner. It's really, really nice. So we have our water. And then, meditation, some of the flows that we've just shared with you. And then what I'll also bring into the mix is celery juice.
Oh, celery juice.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Celery, I think everyone now knows how powerful celery
It
juice
amazing.
is. Because lately when you go to the market,
It's be gone.
it's so expensive to get some really good organic
I know.
celery.
It's a trip.
we're talking like $1.49, $1.59, and the price has gone up to like $2.50 a bunch, if not more.
More, $2.99.
It's really expensive. So this is literally one of these. I just rinse it really, really well. And then I have a Breville juicer. I just shove the whole thing in the juicer and I get this. So ideally, if you have 16 ounces, you can use 16 ounces. But this is about 12 or 13 ounces, okay? And so we drink this.
Right.
So we have these natural salts in the celery that's really good for the body.
It helps the liver to flush again. And also, it is good for when I last had my blood work done, he said that my hydrochloric acid was low, and the celery juice helps the your body produce the hydrochloric acid. So it's really good for people who have like digestive problems. And I've been doing celery juice every morning now, pretty much every morning. I think I started back like in June, maybe in the summer. So it's been a good 6 months. And I want to tell you, my body has completely changed.
It really makes a difference.
It makes a difference. It's like, it's, I don't know what it did. It did something though, because my metabolism is better.
Yes,
my digestion is better. Yeah, I lost, like, you know how everybody always say, if I could just lose this 10 pounds. Well, I lost that 10 pounds and I have kept it off. And I eat, believe me.
Oh, I know you eat. I've been seeing you eat.
I mean, you know, it's what I eat.
And
I'm not starving myself either.
But then also, I think just hydrating, because I didn't realize that I was chronically dehydrated. I thought I was drinking enough water, and I wasn't. So I had these headaches, these little migraines. And since I've been drinking the water, doing my celery juice, you know, I'm just so much more mindful of how much water I'm taking in. And I kind of check, like, how am I feeling? Like, no headache. I feel really, really good.
Yeah.
So,
and then, you know, the other thing that the celery juice did.
Yes, lowers your blood pressure.
It lowers your blood pressure. My blood pressure has finally normalized.
So it takes time.
I was like right on the borderline of getting high, right? And I'm like, I'm not about this, you know. I cut that salt out. And I drink my celery juice. And I got my monitor. I monitor it, and it's like it's coming down. My numbers are coming down, but they're not right where I want them to be yet. But I know that you've cut out like a lot of salt. Salt and some fats. And then the fats. So that's the other thing too. So but it's definitely working.
It takes time.
You have to figure it out. Everybody has to listen to themselves.
These are some of the things that you might want to bring into your daily just morning protocol. It's really, really helpful. It's really, really good for the body. And it's going to just make you feel really, really good.
And it keeps you from being real hungry.
That's true. I'm not, so I don't want to eat. At 11, I don't really want to eat.
It's like, you notice that, I'll be like, it's 1 o'clock. I'm
good.
Exactly. So I like that too.
It's very true. All right, so what's happening with this? We're going to have to release.
Okay. So
let's see. A little bit. Let me just open it up.
Okay, we'll just let it.
All right, so while we're doing that, we're actually going to just move this out because we're going to plate over here.
Okay.
Use this.
And it has been going, let's see, it's been coming down now.
Yeah, it's coming down.
Coming down for 16 minutes. Yeah, I usually wait about 20 minutes before it to come down. But we're doing it naturally.
So we have, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but this is your sunflower sprouts.
Yeah. Right? I washed them real good because, you know.
You just got to be careful.
You got to be careful.
Then we have some tomatoes.
Yeah, organic tomato.
Yes.
Some cucumber.
And then we have our cilantro. So this is actually really good to also just add to your salads, add to your meals. It's a good metal detoxifier. Actually, it pulls heavy metals out of the body. So a lot of herbs, really, parsley, cilantro, all of those.
Plus it's just green and fresh. And it just gives it a nice
gives it a really, really nice flavor. And then what we'll also do is we'll garnish, we'll squeeze some lime juice. So let me just say this, y'all. Limes and lemons, it's like a natural salt too. And it's underrated, right? And so if you're looking for some additional flavor in your food, you want salt. Instead of the salt, You can sprinkle some lime juice or some lemon juice on the food, and then you're good to go.
And also, me personally, I don't do like a lot of vinegar, even apple cider vinegar.
You don't like it that much?
I mean, I like it, but I do, when I want that kind of that tartness, I always do lemon or lime.
Yeah.
So I'll make all my salad dressings
I heard
with
that.
lemon and lime.
I heard something.
Yeah, the pen just dropped.
Yeah, I heard
so,
something.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead. It probably needs just a few more, just maybe another minute or so.
I heard a click, because I know that click.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that over there.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. Okay.
It
It's
is.
ready to open. You want to turn the lid away.
Be careful, y'all,
from
when you're
you.
dealing with these
So
Instapots.
you might want to stand back, because when I open this, the steam's going to come.
Oh, it's already out.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
That looks so good. We did it. It
Yes.
came out perfect.
Yes, and there it is.
That's awesome. Take
Okay.
this.
What?
I love it. All right. So
And
we
then
can-
I'll let you can go ahead.
Look at this, y'all. Ooh, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, so we're gonna take this, and that's okay that the rice is soft the way it is.
Because it makes it easier to digest.
Yes, we want this to go through our digestive system very simply, very easily. So we have this.
But it's not as gummy as when we did it the last time.
This is
so,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
And
then
the
let's get some of
vegetables
those
are
wonderful
nice
vegetables
cooked.
on here. Oh, it looks so good.
I love the purple carrots because they
Yes,
add nice
I'm gonna
color
add some
to the
more
dish.
to that
Yeah.
as well. Look at that.
It's like my favorite little food. I love purple carrots, and when you buy the bag,
Yes.
it only be like 2 or 3 of
I
them
know.
in
They
there. I'll be
put more of the orange and yellow in there.
Yeah, I was
right?
like, put some more of those purple carrots in there.
All right. So how do we want to garnish?
Well, I was gonna say,
What
you
you
know,
wanna
maybe
do?
let's put the cucumber slices. You
That
know,
looks good.
we can put.
And you could put some of this on top.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then we can also,
that.
oops, we can also do some tomato slices.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Very pretty.
And then sprinkle it with our cilantro.
Ooh. And then, y'all, the herbs, the natural herbs, just add so much flavor to this dish. It's so wonderful.
Sprinkle a little cilantro around.
Very nice. Very
All
nice.
right.
Look at that. And then if you also want a little bit more flavor, you can also put a little sprinkling
You
of
can
this.
do that, and
on top,
it's got
too.
that jalapeno, which was pretty hot. So,
Yeah, so
you know
it's
it's
good.
spicy. But if
Look
you
at that.
wanted to add more,
It's so pretty.
fire, I like the ghost chili peppers in the grinder.
You like spicy.
I like hot.
She likes
So I usually would add that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So look, this is our khichari. Actually, you know what? Let's taste some.
Oh, and then our lime too.
Yes, we got our lime. I want a little
gotta-
taste. I
we
want to see
wanna
how this
Squeeze
is.
a little bit of lime.
And we could put this on top too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put that right
Right.
there. Look at that.
There
Gorgeous.
we go.
All right, let's get a little taste.
Mm-hmm.
Squeeze a little juicy juice.
Okay, there you go.
All right, and then some cilantro. Mm-mm-mm.
Hot.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Good. So you see, you saw. Well, I don't. It didn't even take an hour. I don't think. So it's ideal, especially.
wonderful.
But these, the pressure cooker, I like it too because I eat a lot of beans. That's really
Yes.
like my main source of protein.
Yep.
Seeing that I'm plant-based. And,
Yes.
You know, trying to.
Me too,
Do a
and
lot of
just really
processed
helps
foods and
making
stuff.
food fast.
So yeah, I like to still soak my beans
Yeah, me too.
before I cook them. But actually, in the pressure cooker, you can cook them without soaking them.
It's so fast.
But I like my beans soft too.
Yeah.
So you know when you cook them, they always get like really
Really
nice and soft.
Yes.
And my daughter know that. I used to laugh and say. Cause I would buy the organic beans in the can just to kind of like have something on hand, you know, like.
You know the difference.
Well, yeah, but I would laugh and say, I don't be that old lady that be eating them canned beans. And then she bought me the pressure cooker so I could cook my own beans fast. And now she enrolled me in. There's a bean company that makes the heirloom beans. And she enrolled me in the Bean of the Month Club. So I get a pound of organic heirloom beans every month now.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and she said, she called me that day and said, I'm so excited. I've been waiting 6 months to get in this Bean of the Month club, and I finally got in, so I got us enrolled. So I'll be having plenty of bean recipes.
I will be borrowing those beans from you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, but even when you cook your chickpeas in here,
It takes long.
They cook some fast, but they cook some soft. And when you
Yes.
make hummus, it be
wonderful.
the real creamy hummus. It don't
Mm.
be that gritty like hummus. Yeah, so I like it for cooking the chicken.
So we're actually going to share this Khichari recipe because I think, there are folks out there who are using Instapots now.
Right.
So we'll definitely give this one to you guys. We'll tell you how to find it.
Okay.
And then we'll also remind you about this protocol. We'll also share with you, if you want to, we'll put your Facebook page for Quiet Blessings
Yeah.
in the feed.
Okay.
If you are interested in private sessions or massage sessions, you can reach out to Abba
Right.
and you can book a session. She's incredible.
Yeah,
Thai massage,
and
everything.
I do also a paired where you get the restorative yoga and you get a massage afterwards.
Oh, nice. That's
so it's like
amazing.
you get the double doozy of
Yes.
relaxation.
Yes.
And we all know how important it is for self-care.
Absolutely.
So treat yourself to a self-care
Yes.
for yourself.
Mhm.
Half a day,
Something,
a day
yes.
or whatever. Yeah.
So is there anything else that you want to share with the folks out there before we go?
Well, I'm really happy that I was able to share this with everyone.
My Abba.
And being healthy is not hard.
It isn't.
It's
just
easy.
intention. You have to be intentional about it.
Right. And
Yeah.
my whole thing is I just never want to be at the mercy of having to go to the doctor.
That's
so
right.
I take care of myself, so
That's
I don't
right.
have to do that.
Yes, indeed. All right. Y'all. Oh, by the way, pick up the book. Let Plants Nourish You. Abba did the foreword to the book. Yes. And I just want y'all to also know Abba was probably one of the first folks here in Atlanta that had a plant-based cooking show. How many years ago was that?
I was pregnant with my daughter and she's 35. So this would have been in 1983. And I did Cooking with Abba. It was on public access on cable.
Wow, for 2 years, y'all. So Abba's a veteran. She's been doing this forever. She's beautiful. As you can see, super flexible. So please connect with her, connect with me. If you are still struggling to get started, we have plant-based meals to go. We have 3-day, 5-day, and 7-day plans. You can go on the site, chefbeee.com, to check that out. If you want to know more about essential oils, you can hit me up as well. We just have everything there. And if you also want to see past videos, you can check us out there as well.
And that's why my skin is so beautiful, because I use those aromatherapy oils that
Yes.
Chef Beee turned me on to. I use them on my...
Yes, you're glowing. All right, y'all. So enjoy your Sunday. The next time you'll see me, I'll be in Ghana, West Africa, at the African Culture and Wellness Festival. I wish you was going
I wish
with
I
me.
was going to.
I wish you was going with me.
Ooh.
So that's going to be on January 29th to February 11th. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being on here with me. You're awesome. All right, y'all. Enjoy your Sunday. Peace.